Hello, model railroaders. John back with the 16 by 8 River Gorge. You probably just maybe seen the video where I did some little bit of landscaping here, and I had a comment about my track, and I've had people email me asking about what I used. This track, it's called Atlas True Track, and what it is, it's just a track that comes with preformed roadbed already with it. You can take the track out if you want to. It comes out, and then you can paint the roadbed. It's nice, especially if you're a beginner, because you don't have to worry about trying to ballast your track to make it look authentic. I used it on my layout this time because actually I used it to make the layout, and I was going to slowly replace it with regular track, but it looked so good I decided I was going to keep it. I've got a bunch of this that I've gotten through at swap meets and flea markets and things like that, and I didn't pay a lot for what I have. I probably got about $100 invested in this and some of the track that I'm going to show you that I have left over in a box. But it can be kind of expensive to buy this. But it's rewarding when you use something like this because you get to see progress fast, and the track itself, it looks finished the minute you use it. But what I have to do is I don't like the color of it, so I took it out and you can see I painted it. I haven't done my whole layout yet, and the reason I haven't is because I still have landscaping and things to do around the layout. I only did the up to the bridges and then everything this way. I did use flex track, as you can see in the center where the mine is, but and I used some switches that were just standard Atlas or whatever brand. I don't even remember at this time what I used. So I'm going to make a little video right after this that'll be connected to this, showing the packaging of this stuff. It's a nice product. I'm not being paid or nothing to show it, but people have asked me, and I'm kind of one of them people that's against using stuff like this too, but it comes out looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. And if you don't like the color of it, it's very simple. Just take the track out, it snaps right out of it, and just paint it. Now I have cut a few pieces because when I made the layout, of course, we all know whenever you do a layout, you'd never have the pieces exactly the size you need. So, but for instance, this piece over here, you can see I had to do some custom trimming on this one, and I got to fill that area in with ballast. But I just tapered it down, cut it short, and it worked fine. I've done that in a couple spots here. This curve up here, that's a 24-inch curve, two pieces, and I made them a little short too, and I made it out of two. So, and then of course my straightaways, they're nice, and I got lots of straights, but the nice thing would be is if if they made this for flex track. And of course they don't. And I know they still make this stuff because you could still buy it brand new, unless it's new old stock or something, but they do have it. And I've got still quite a bit, not enough to do this layout, one like this again, but I do have quite a bit left to do some dioramas and things like that. So most of this is that product. Of course, you can see, as you see, I have flex track in there as well on the bridges everywhere. Now that bridge track, that'll be replaced at some point down the road. But I use this stuff all around the whole layout. You can kind of see the little gaps underneath where the roadbed, didn't quite meet the surface of the foam. Of course, I fill that in later. I haven't landscaped up to the edge of that because I might actually do something different in here. But yeah, it's pretty easy to conceal the edge. I did that over here. That was kind of my motivation to do the landscaping on this. I haven't done the inside part yet, but I did the outside so you don't see the edge of it. And it really, once I did that, I was a lot happier with it. Now, if when the day comes I get rid of this layout or do something different, I probably won't use this again. First of all, I don't have enough. I don't know how well this stuff will peel off the layout if I was to actually peel it off, because it is glued with Elmer's glue, quite heavy to keep it nice and flat. But one thing I will say about this stuff that I love, this stuff is very reliable. This layout here, I have 5 feeders on it only, and I can't remember how many feet it travels. I think it's about 68 total feet. And the 5 feeders, I've got no issues. And to be honest with you, I had only 1 feeder since last January when I started this, and up until I think May, I was just using 1 feeder using that single power pack, and it works great. I mean, this track, they're super tight together. I mean, I don't have no issues where they meet. They're nice and smooth. The connectors that come with it, they do kind of come with it. They're all extremely tight. So you can solder them too. So I know a lot of guys like to do that. I don't always do that. On Flex Track I do, but this stuff, I didn't need to. It's actually tight to get together. So the other nice thing about this stuff that I liked, and I didn't use it on this, but if you have a spot on a big layout, like say inside a tunnel or something, you know, if you want, you can take this, use this on the curve part where it's going to make it reliable, and then you can butt up some of that Woodland Scenics black foam roadbed. It butts up to it pretty good. It's almost the same height. And what I always did is I would just glue this stuff down. I don't have a sample to show you. I was actually looking for a piece. I don't have any. And I would glue this side down and then put the foam under right next to it. And they were pretty darn close to meeting up perfectly, in my opinion. So I was happy with it. And I did that on my last layout in the very far back corners because I cannot reach back there. That was kind of my main reason to do this, was I just didn't want to have to try and ballast in the back corner there. That's about, I can't even reach, I can barely reach back. I'm not even over the hill. So it's quite a reach to get back there. And same thing over there. That's why I built the hills off site and then just plucked them down in there. So, but yeah, it's a nice little alternative. I'm not saying to do it, and I know a bunch of real diehard model railroaders are going to kind of rip me for saying that, but I'm not ashamed that I use this stuff, and I'll tell you what, I think it worked pretty darn good, and this track runs great. So if I had a bunch more, I'd use some more on another layout, but I don't have enough to do another whole layout. So, but I think stuff works great. I just wanted to say that, and that's just my personal opinion of this. So now I'm going to just start another little clip here showing you how it comes packaged. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Okay, here's how the track looks when it's packaged. Actually, a lot of these have been open for whatever reason. Like I say, this stuff I bought used. That's kind of what you get when you buy it. It comes in typically packs of 4. And they're 9-inch straights. They've got 18, 22, and 24-inch radius curves, standard length. You can take all this stuff out. It comes right out of here. And by the way, it does come with the little fittings, but I don't have any on these particular pieces. Yeah, I could snap. It's a little bit to get it to snap out. But it comes out, and it's just a standard piece of track. And then you're left over with the roadbed that you can paint. It has these little pins here so that it secures it when you put this back in. You just snap it right back in. There. And the nice thing about this stuff, it's very low. I'm trying to get it where it's not blurry here. The roadbed really, or the ties are really sunk down in it pretty good. And you can see the texture very well. I'm not being paid to make this, just so you know. I'm just making it because people have asked me what I used. This is what I used. Now, I did do a lot more custom cutting of things. I didn't use any of these little tiny pieces. I think actually that's not true. I had one spot where I just filled it in over there, but I'm going to fix that and redo that part with a bigger piece. Comes with a variety of different type curves, little sections. Again, all 4 packs. And then these switches. They're the same switches you buy, just regular Atlas switches, just with road bed in them. You can get them with and without the electric switches. You can get with just manual switches, whatever you want. But like I say, they're kind of spendy. I bought this whole box over here. You can see right there. I bought this whole thing. It came with one of them swap meets I go to, and it was pretty cheap, and it came with a bunch of other stuff. So I bought the whole box, and you can see how full this thing is. It's not nowhere near enough to do the rest of my layout. Now when I got this, I think it was 3 boxes like this. That's how I did the layout. And I think for all of these, I probably only spent maybe about $90. So that's not terrible for all this track. I didn't even intend to use the road bed. I just wanted the track. But it works really good for dioramas too. These are not part of it, but they were in the box. There's actually in the bottom of the box, there's a bunch of Code 100, just regular snap track. So, but that's what this stuff is. I think it's a good product for people who want to build a layout with their kid. You can build it, our kids. You can work with it on carpet. There's no electrical issues. It just works really good, in my opinion. I'm not going to use it on my next layout, but I'll probably use quite a bit of this stuff up making dioramas. So I just wanted to show you what I used, and I know I'm going to get a lot of static from guys who are professionals at doing this and who would never use anything like this. A lot of people are really against this kind of product, this or the Bachmann type track. I understand that, and the unit track, from Cato, but it was easy, and I had it, and I didn't want to waste it, so that's why I used it. But it's not a terrible product, and don't be ashamed to use it. It saves you a lot of time, and it's fun it gives you some progress really fast when you're building your layout. And the nice thing about it too is that even if you don't want to use this, and you have some, use it to set up what your track plan's going to be. It really works good for that. That's what mine was originally going to be on my layout back in the other room. But I decided that once I did that, I kind of liked it. So that's why I left it. Never used it prior to this, or probably am not going to use it much after this. It would be better, in my opinion, if they'd make longer pieces, the 36-inch pieces, or bigger curves, or even a little wider radius curve. But most important, I'd like to see a better variety of switches. So, but I think they don't make that stuff, a lot of it, because a lot of people just choose not to use this. Most diehard model railroaders do actually prefer just either laying their own track, or they like to just use the actual flex track and make their own curves, which I kind of like to do too. But this stuff, I'm telling you, it was fun to work with, and it saved me a lot of time, and that's kind of why I got my layout done as fast as I did. So anyways, I just wanted to show you this, and come up with your own design, and make up your own decision if you want to do this, your own mind. It's just something that's worth a look at. And I've had comments, people asked me about it, so this is just my honest opinion of what I think of it and how well it worked for me this particular time. So anyways, thanks for watching, and feel free to ask me any questions about it. Thanks.